Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you today?
I'm good. How about you, sir?
Good,
Good,
Alhamdulillah.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Um, do you have like midterm coming up in your school in Malaysia?
No, sir.
Okay. So what state are now the semester in Malaysia?
Second week of semester 4.
Oh, okay. So still second week. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So we're gonna finish this class earlier than your semester in Malaysia then.
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Okay, everybody. I'm sorry that you have to meet me again this afternoon because the lecturer supposed to be Ibu Konita have another meeting, so I will teach the class again. So all of the class before the midterm. So next week we're gonna have a midterm for this class, and the midterm is gonna be a take-home exam. I will post it in the e-learning in the aula, so you better check it out maybe later this week, but you have to be submitted the what do you call the assignment, not assignment, see the midterm or take home exam for the uh, next week. So next week we don't have class, but you have to do your take home exam, right? Okay. Today we're gonna continue with the materials for nutrition education. In Indonesia, we call it pendidikan gizi. Okay. What are the role for nutrition educators? Is to change some of the people's wrong ideas about diets and food. In this course, we will learn how to describe and assess diets, practice explaining food, diets, and healthy eating to general public. So, if you want to share your thought about the myth related to food and nutrition in your society, what do you think examples of the myth that could be right and could be wrong? Like, for example, in Indonesia, we have a myth for uh, pregnant women, they supposed to not eating catfish because in some areas, especially in East Java, in if you know around Lamongan and then Gresik and some of the other district, they believe that eating catfish is gonna make the baby born with a lot of lanugo. You know, lanugo is like it's like a fat that was usually when the baby was delivered is stick in the hair. So if they want to have like kind of a cleaner baby, uh, they was forbid to eat catfish. Do you have something similar? Anybody want to share your thought about it?
Pregnant woman can't eat pineapple.
Yes. What are the myth behind it? Is
They
there
can
a
eat
belief?
pineapple. They
What?
can. Yes.
Yeah. In Malaysia, what are the myth? What will happen if pregnant woman eat pineapple?
They will having miscarriage. That's the myth.
Okay.
But the fact is, pregnant women can still eat pineapple in moderation.
Okay. Is that throughout Malaysia in all of the area or only in some area in Malaysia?
All over the state in Malaysia.
Okay. And then Jana Lutfi told the meat pregnant women cannot eat soy sauce because they will get dark skin baby. I think that's a good thing, dark skin baby, right? They have a strong protection to skin cancer, right? What do you think?
So,
Yeah,
yes, true.
just kidding. Well, related to pineapple, actually, some of the scientists argue that the what do you call it? I forget the name. Pineapple. There's there's a substance in the pineapple which are can make like uh, if you cook and then you mix with the pineapple, usually the meat is more tender. I forget what's the name. And some people, when justifying the myth that you told, is it could be related to that substance as well, which are present in pineapple. I forgot the name. Maybe if I remember, I will share it with you.
The enzyme ke?
Yes.
Bromelain.
Oh yeah, the bromelain. Yeah. Have you read anything about bromelain? Did it hinder some type of the fetus development or not? It promote uh, like uh, something in the body's mom or not?
They can promote the bleeding for pregnant
Yeah,
mom, right?
yeah. I mean, if that was true, then the myth is like justified, right? But we need to see whether the data related to that is sound and have a strong evidence that support it or not. So something need to be think about. So when we deal with the myth, sometimes uh, it could be true, but we need more evidence to back it up, right? The thing with the myth, if we want to tackle the myth, right, in terms of nutrition education, oh, that's not true, then why people who eat pineapple have more miscarriage than the one did not eat pineapple, for example? That is more difficult to answer if we not have good evidence to support us, right? It's better to, for example, analyze how important it is for example, the pineapple or the catfish or the soy sauce or whatever to the intake of our population, right? If, for example, there is no fruit available because the what do you call the area is mostly sandy, which are difficult to grow vegetable or fruit. One that was easily grown is pineapple as in a source of maybe vitamin A, potassium, and other part. Is it something that need to be consumed by those pregnant women or not? If yes, then maybe worth a shot to the nutrition education related to battling the myth. But if there is another choices, while we combat such a thing, which are already embedded on the belief system and the culture and become a myth of the population, likely we will have rejection. Once again, as a nutrition educators, we want to have success as well. We want our message, what the behavior that we want them to do is something that is easier to achieve and easier to adopt, right? Rather than pineapple, maybe, oh yeah, we also have, I don't know, like jambu or um, uh, guava or something like that, which are still high in vitamin C, if you say related to vitamin C, for example, then maybe it's easier to promote vitamin C rather than battling the myth that they believe. Okay. So this is some of the guiding question related to what and why people are eating the way they do. So in our textbook, understanding people, their behavior, and the context of their behavior is one of the key to effective nutrition education program. So when we talk about nutrition education, maybe when you enroll in this class, you don't realize that, oh, why there's so many theory? Because you want to understand the person behavior and to make the changes in the behavior in terms of uh, what we call the construct related to behavior change that support good eating habit. So when we see this, the socio-ecological models of food choice and diet-related behaviors, we see interconnection between the layers of socio-ecological model. Food is not only about individual and behavioral choice, not only about um, physiologic condition, like, oh, when you're pregnant, you need to have more intake of iron and folic acid and calcium, for example. Not only that, but also related to uh, social and environmental factors. When they are living in Malaysia and then the pregnant woman was forced to have a fairer skin, like more white, like, you know, um, light skin or something like that. So they have to avoid using soy sauce, for example. So that was something that was imposed by the environment. Like if the mothers and the fathers are relatively fair, and then it turned out the baby is dark, do you think that's more related to using soy sauce, or is this like something fishy going on that they was having affair or something? Is that happening in Malaysia as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's something that we need to be careful as well, because um, the myth could be related to somebody wants to hide what they do or something, which are not necessarily related to the intake. And also, soy sauce is just how much soy sauce that you can eat. It's just part of the the what do you call the seasoning that usually people eat, right? It's not like the meat or something that is um, the what do you call you can call it the bread and the butter of the main ingredient. Okay. If you see, this is in the FAO book. Some people give what do you call respond when we ask the question how they give the food to the child. For example, mother A, I give my little girl porridge mixed with egg, green, groundnut, and little oil. I feed her 4 to 5 times a day. She still get my milks as well. So still breastfed and then get the supplement food. My neighbors had noticed what a bouncy, happy child she is. She's tall for her age. So when we talk about stunting, she is not stunted because this is what the mothers have given. And then mother B, I ate good breakfast every day before going to school. I pay attention in class. It's not mothers, maybe like teenagers maybe. And I am studying so well that my parents are letting me stay and finish school. And then another mother C, my 5-month-old baby get only my milk, so it's exclusively fed. Up to now, she hasn't had any diarrhea or infection. So when we talk about having for example, a theory that related to nutrition education, sometimes all of this what do you call testimony are easier to convey compared to what we call as a quantitative data, right? Can you think about, there's a paper that talk about there's a positive association between eating diverse food with um, child height for age, for example. The more diverse, the height for age score are increased, right? When we talk about this in nutrition education, then it's something that is not easy to comprehend by our uh, target. But if we talk like the mothers, this is what I give to my children, and then this is what happened to my children. I give egg, greens, groundnuts, and little oil, and then this is a bouncy and good for her age, for height, and something like that. Yes, if we talk about you know evidence or academic quality, it might be what we call anecdotal evidence. But usually, these anecdotal evidence are something that can move people to adopt the behavior. Okay, so as a nutrition education, we have to understand what the science behind it. But when we deliver the message and when we want to talk to our target, sometimes we need to have examples from other peoples, especially those who relate in the community among themselves as well, that it will be easier to adopt because they perceive as, oh, one of my community member already done this, and I know that child is healthy. Okay, and there was a method that was developed. It's called positive deviance. Positive deviance means in the same population we have uh, somebody who have a good nutritional status, even though they are living in slum urban areas with not good sanitation or hygiene in terms of environment, but they still healthy. For example, oh, this is a mother seed. My children did not get diarrhea because I give only breast milk. I didn't give any water or something like that. So it's more believable compared to others. Yes. So this is some tips that can be handy when you do your nutrition education. The first one, we have to be correct. That's why before doing nutrition education, we need to study a lot. What are the science behind it? What are the latest journal talk about this? How the impact of bromelain is it? How much it's contains in a serving of pineapple, and whether it can promote bleeding or something like that. How the meat it's going to be rebut or not, then we need to study more. However, when we give the advice, when we talk about our message, we need to keep it short. Yes, so you understand that the message has to be succinct, focused, simple and clear, but our what do you call arsenal, our ammunition, the way we study is a lot. Yeah, that's one of the tips that need to be taught when we do nutrition education. And then be natural. When you are somebody who already perform the behaviors, for example, you want to talk about exclusive breastfeeding. Any of you never have a child, you never have experience of breastfeeding a child before. it's gonna be different compared to those who already experience breastfeeding, right? But sir, can it be learned? Yes, it can. If you talk to like somebody who sell cars or insurance, how like they just like very creative on their selling pitch. That's what we need to do as well as nutrition educators. However, if we want to have a natural way of communication, then experience it, empathic about the message that we want to do is something that we need to be prepared for. Avoid lecturing. It's not lecture like me, I give you a lecture. When we do with the community, we need to understand how they feel and what their values. Even like my wife, who also like a state employee, she's still exclusively breastfeeding, like express the breast milk, but it takes a lot of effort compared to somebody who is just like a regular housewife, right? So when we have empathy with the person who have many obstacles and struggles, and we feel the struggle, likely they will also see us as empathetic and easy to listen to what we say. Give example and stories. This when the what you call the anecdotal evidence come in handy. Example, if we look at the bar graph, this is the prevalence, blah blah blah. Sometimes it's not good in terms of acceptance. We one of the good examples and stories usually made by politicians, right? When they have a campaign, usually they try to make the example and the story close to their heart, like close to their life examples. Could be their own example, could be the relative. There's something that's more relatable. This is something that we need to be planned, not just so like giving information. Like for example, I can talk about how my wife prepared to work with a lot of arsenal, like having like a breast pump, and then have a bottles, and then we have to train our nanny how to prepare the what do you call the breast milk, which are expressed in the fridge. It has to be thawed, not cooked, and something like that. So it takes a lot of effort. But then when I say that, oh, my wife do this, compared to that, how many people are doing this and how many people are succeeding, that's not really relatable. And then point to results. What are the expected outcome that we want when we deliver the changes? Be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is always good. If you're not enthusiastic, then how can you what do you call make your audience on board with the changes that you want? And then we need to evaluate, check their understanding, and then discuss if there is any experience, any examples that they can. And then saying it right, how to say it in a good manners. Avoid misleading, inaccurate, incomplete information, or over technical, hard to understand jargon. Again, when we do situational analysis, we need to understand what are the level of knowledge, level of education. If your target are illiterate, then how can you deliver your message? Is it through practice, games, or maybe something that related to um, more religious context using visuals, not something that can be read, posters, movie, and others. And then avoid something that is very general as well. So we need to have sometimes a discrete examples. For example, when we talk about breastfeeding, oh, my child is crying all the time. Maybe she or he is still hungry. But when we talk about the fact that the what do you call the stomach of a baby is only need this milliliter of milk with maybe less than 10 milliliter or something, people don't know that, and then we have to make it in terms of what we call it um, measure that was more relatable to people. In Indonesia we call it URT, ukuran rumah tangga, household measurement unit, right? Okay. This is what are the different diet and food you know about this. What is healthy diet? Healthy diet is food that is safe to eat in the right proportion with a wide variety, enough, adequate meal, and constant quality. So in terms of season, it's easily accessible as well. This is the visualization. I don't know in Malaysia, do you have like this is in the US, they have My Plate. In Indonesia also mimic this, but the diary was replaced by water because in Indonesia the culture is not eating drinking dairy. And then this is the UK, it well played. Hello guys, sorry, my internet connection is not stable. Are you still there, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in terms of advice, it depends who gonna give the advice. It is the ministry with the dietary guideline um, like the um, My Plate example from the US. Or it was on the village level. When we talk in the village level, usually we can already talk about example what people are doing. Okay, this is something also can be discussed whether our message in nutrition education are easily adoptable or not. What matter most in adopting or changing dietary practice? This is something that we need to understand as well. If we don't understand that, oh, we need the support from the religious leader, then why spend so much time on educating them if we not have a support from the religious leader, right? Like now in Indonesia, you know, the AstraZeneca vaccine, it was controversial because it has a side effect, and it was made using involvement of like pig enzyme or something, which made it not halal. Then the support from the Majelis Ulama Indonesia, the like The ulama councils in Indonesia need to support whether it can be used due to the pandemic situation, because having a vaccine is not easy, and this is what available, and the government can get it, whether it will be used or not, or um, it's prohibited because it's haram. It contains a big element in there. So it is something that we need to understand as well. We are hoping that people, individual, group, or whole population will make dietary change, maintain them over time, understand them well, and pass on to others. Right? This is the ultimate target for nutrition education. Sometimes all of this is not achieved at one go. It could be only like, yes, raising awareness. But do they make dietary changes? Maybe not. And how can we change it little by little? And we have to do it um, over time. Okay. So this is the element of learning process when we talk about behavioral change. If we recognize the problem, this is a matter of awareness, right? Explore the situation, what we know and what we don't know. It's related to knowledge, right? And then number 3, see possible solution. This still related to knowledge, but we already talk about shifting the behavior. What are the barriers, right? And then decide to act is related to attitude. Are you on board on the idea of giving exclusive breast milk? It's not changing your body size, or maybe your husband is object to it. Like in Indonesia, we have what we call apa ya namanya? Programs of keluarga sadar gizi, ya, household who aware of nutrition, apa ya, this is something like that. So the nutrition education was done with both the husband and wife. However, it's something that is very hard to do. Why? Because sometimes the mother are housewife, but the husband are working. So when the health personnel come to their house, usually only meet the mothers. Can we do it on the weekend or at night time? The worker also wants to, take a rest or something. They don't want to do the education, even though we know that it could be more easy to adopt if the message was given both with the husband and wife at present. Okay, and then number 5, try out new practices, get experience and skills. This is when we do nutrition education. If the person did not know, for example, how the taste of food, and then we make them taste, make them how to make, for example, porridge. If they're a new mother, maybe what type of porridge that we can give to our children. Should we add animal protein or wait until a certain month? How can we check on allergies or something like that? It's something that need to be taught. Again, the idea, if during the practice with us as nutrition educators, they can do it right at home, they will have more confidence of doing it right, because yes, before I can do it right in front of the counselors, the doctors, nutrition educators, or whatever, then likely the behavior will be adopted. And then we also try to see ways, means, and acknowledging what obstacles that hinders the adoption of the behavior. So we already give them experience, training them. They already know. They know how to express breast milk. But for example, oh, there's a hindrance, there's an obstacle related to working hours. For example, the office did not have a lactating room. So how mothers can still express breast milk? Do they have wear, you know, like, baju kurung or something that was so big that they can still work while expressing the breast milk, or they want to do in the prayer room like in musola and then express breast milk, or go to a bathroom or something if there's no specific breastfeeding room. And then number 7, practice, get habit, and check progress. This is something that related to the maintenance. Okay, then action and maintenance. To get the habit, once again, we need to make a supportive environment. Having a class, having a group is something that can, check our commitment to do the behavior. Then number 8, get and give feedback. This is something that we need to do for the target audience, whether they have uh, lack of support, or they need something and they don't know how to do it. Maintain the practice. Once again, it's related to the maintenance, because again, when we talk about state of change, relapse can happen at any time. Okay. For those who are Muslim, it's going to be Ramadan really soon. If you have a habit of walking every morning to exercise, with the obstacles of Ramadan, do you think you can still maintain your habit of, brisk walking every morning? Maybe if you do it by yourself, it's more difficult compared to if you do it with your, walking buddies, with your family or something. Again, share it, pass it on to others. It's something to encourage one another. So, like, if you have, for example, a device for calorie counters or walk, like Fitbit or maybe other device, usually now they have a social media platform, right? You can have a star if you, have certain distance, or maybe you can burn so many calories, you can get, like badge or something to, what do you call, make you more enthusiastic and become one of the champions in your peers. It's something that need to be thought of. I think in the future, nutrition education need to take on more of this social media platform as well, but it need to have a combination between technology, using the technology, and also the connectedness of the people. But for the theory remains the same, that the connectedness, support each other, everybody, when they have similar goals and similar hobbies and similar behavior to be different with other, but it's still healthy. Like for example, oh, I can still eat soy sauce, but my kids are still fair and white or something like that. It's something that need to be thought of in the future. Okay, I think that's all for today. Is there any question from anybody? So I already post all of the materials from week 1 until week 7 on the e-learning. You better check that out. And also the textbook from Contento, I send it through email because I want to put it on the e-learning. It's too big, so I cannot do it. So I send it through Google Drive. I hope you can download it all. And once again, next week we have no class, but next week you need to go to check the take-home exam question. More likely 5 questions I will give. 5 questions, essay. More likely you're going to have to make an example based on the theory and some other question, all related to the materials that I've given. So all of the question is based on the material we got so far and also the book. So you better read the book as well.
So,
Yeah.
what about the time given for the test?
I will open the test exactly the same time as our what do you call class. So Monday at 4 p.m. Indonesia time or Malaysia time is like 5, is it? We
Yes.
start at 5, right? In KL time?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can access it at 5 p.m. KL time, and then the deadline to submit is maybe I will give you 3 hours to work. So by 8 p.m. it has to be submitted.
Okay.
You can use anything. You can just browse on the internet or whatever, because either way I cannot check whether you do yourself or not. So we call it take home exam, but we still have a time limitation for 3 hours. So you can think, but don't overthink it. If you have a connection problem, you work so hard and then like the time is about to run out, but then something happened, just send me a WhatsApp that you need extension or something. Um, Maybe I will give, but again, for those who not meeting the deadline, there could be some point deduction in there. But don't worry, the what do you call the big portion of this class is not about the exam. It's about the nutrition education that you're going to do in the second half of the after the midterm. But to have a good midterm exam mark is always good. I think that was the difference between having an A or not is the midterm. Um, as long as you did the what do you call nutrition education practice at the latter week of the semester, I think you guarantee at least you got B. But whether you got B or you got AB or you got A, usually it's from time to time it's related to the midterm. Okay, so don't underestimate the midterm. You need to study. We don't have final exam. We do not have, but we're gonna change it into like your their experience doing education in target audience, the elementary school children. Is there any other question? Don't stress so much. Only five questions, and you need to answer all 5. If you don't answer all, yeah, it's okay, but you're not gonna get full marks on that. Usually, when we have this class offline, when you come to Indonesia, I will take you somewhere. Unfortunately, because it's online, we cannot do that. So in the previous year, usually it's also when you do the the nutrition education at the community, it's also related to excursion that we're going to do from this class. However, because this is mostly online, I don't think we can accommodate the thing. Just yeah, have the experience of Zoom, and also you're gonna have your nutrition education through Zoom platform as well. There another question? Okay, if not, then I think, yeah, thank you. Yeah, do you have any question, Ibrahim?
But I wanted to, so that you can about the time. I want so that you can get back a little bit, because about the time, how many time are you going to give us about the assignments? Assignment.
The assignment? You
Yeah,
mean the nutrition education?
yeah, because you said that you had gone to put it on the aula, and I wanted to know just only the limited time for that, because you already said that maybe 3 hours we have to solve this. Is it?
Yeah, I put the materials from the class already in the aula. Okay,
Yeah.
and for the assignment, for the take-home exam, it's gonna be 3 hours. So you can access the question itself at 4 p.m. Indonesian Western Time, like in Surabaya, or if you in Malang, it's the same, like 4 p.m. For those in Malaysia, they can access at 5 p.m. Then you can work for 3 hours to do that. So by 7 p.m. in Indonesia or 8 p.m. in Malaysia, you have to submit your answer. If more than that, you need to
No problem.
you need to WhatsApp me. But you know, like 5 questions for 3 hours is long. It's enough. Maybe you can, you know, like do it in 30 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Again, all of the question is related to you know, like planning and the theory and something like that. So if you check on the slide and read the book related to the materials that we give you, I think you're gonna be fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, and also please be succinct when you describe the, you know, the construct of the theory. Don't mix it up. Okay. For example, if you want to use a health belief model, don't say about something that related to state of change. Likely, one of the question is like, please give examples of the use, you know, health belief model in terms of improving child's intake of fruit and vegetables. And then you answer and make a diagram of the construct of health belief models, right? But you can also open your book, you can search in the internet, whatever. But don't just copy paste. You need to think of the example by yourself. Okay?
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. At least you, for all of you, at least you do the nutrition education later on the week of the semesters. I will guarantee get you at least B. But if you want to get A or AB, yeah. You need to. Okay. Any other question?
No,
Okay.
sir.
If there's no more question, yeah, please be prepared for the exam. It's going to be essay question. 3 hours you can do. You can open your books, textbook, PowerPoint, and also you can browse in the internet. But the more important thing is understanding the question and be prepared to make examples, because likely I ask you about the examples of the application of the theory as well as some of the other material that we given you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good week and productive week. And next week, we're not going to have a class, but you need to check the e-learning, the aula, at 4 p.m. Indonesia Western Time or 5 p.m. KL time. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.